All right, we're back. That was weird, but it is what it is.
That was really close to us.
Lightning was really close to us, completely knocked the power out for a few seconds. And so, there you go. Things you can't control.
It startled me that time. Like, usually
I jumped back.
Something was close. I thought your computer was on fire for a second the way you jumped back.
Well, it felt like it came through my headset.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, it was like right outside the window there.
Yeah, that was kind of nutty.
Yeah, that was not the internet, Will. That was Mother Nature expressing her opinion that, hey, you'll do this show when I want you to do this show.
There's nothing we can do. That is nothing to do with Spark at all right there. That is not Spark's fault.
No. In fact, Spark came back really strong, really quickly.
Pretty quickly,
so kudos to them.
We recovered. It was all good. We'll give people a minute to filter back.
Because you were telling a good story.
Yeah.
Then it all, hey. Ed Orgeron didn't want that story told.
Ed. We're still struggling on our TVs.
Yeah, well, one satellite's out, and then I need to try this one. I'm still kind of figuring this one out here.
Yeah, we'll give it a few minutes. Look, too, when actually I start resuming the story, and let's write down where on Audition it is so I know to take all this out of for the podcast tomorrow.
All right, you got it.
Yeah, we're about 100 viewers less than when we were stopped. So
yeah.
I'll give it a minute.
Hopefully they'll come back.
Well, some of the problem is just finding the links. I mean, I put them everywhere I know to put them.
Ole Miss and East Tennessee still in delay. If that game's in Oxford, they're not playing.
They're not playing tonight. Well, there's no way you would get that game in today.
I don't know whether they're out there or what. You know, you don't realize the power of the SEC network from a recruiting standpoint until you think about, like, if your daughter played for Ole Miss or I saw Tennessee, like Tennessee's playing right now on the SEC network. Duke and Arkansas are playing on the SEC network. You wouldn't realize how powerful that would be as a recruiting tool.
Huge.
You can see your child play every game that he or she plays. That is a powerful thing.
I mean, I talk to a lot of baseball parents, even the baseball parents that are in California or Arizona or wherever, that go, hey, it's every single game if it's not a non-conference road game.
Yeah, that's really kind of remarkable.
Yeah, I actually I forgot about the guy who passed out at Subway. Was that Cullen? Is that his name? Orgeron's assistant coach, that he got drunk and passed out at the Subway.
The guy who ended up coaching in the NFL for a little while, didn't he?
The Lions. Didn't he get in trouble there too, maybe?
Yeah, it seems like he did.
Does that make sense? Does that sound right?
That sounds right. That was before my time.
Yeah, Joe Cullen.
Joe Cullen, that's right.
Yeah, I thought it was Cullen.
Was it Duke that eliminated Ole Miss in the NCAA tournament? In soccer?
It was, yes.
Yeah,
it was Duke.
They lead Arkansas 3-1 second half. They're really good.
Duke?
Duke.
Yeah, they are.
Because Arkansas is a really good team, and Duke's kind of controlling them.
They're both ranked. Duke 6.
Yeah.
13.
All right, there's the Patriots game back. Yeah, it felt like it was just right outside the window. Sorry about that for everybody who's kind of getting back in.
Yeah, I mean, we're just giving it a second. Yeah. Everybody. Yeah, he was charged with drunk and disorderly conduct after passing out in a local Subway.
Did you include me on the tweet?
No, but you can find it.
I'll find it.
And then Cullen was arrested in 2006 for driving under the influence as a defensive line coach of the Lions. Another incident, also during the 2006 preseason, he was arrested after he drove through a Wendy's drive-thru naked. He was fined $20,000, suspended for one game by the NFL for conduct detrimental to the league, and sentenced by a judge to 10 days of community service and to attend Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. Hold on. So, Cat And there was an SI story said he actually had like a great comeback, ends up having a pretty good coaching career. But he's currently with the Jacksonville Jaguars as their defensive coordinator under Urban Meyer. So he has completely figured out his life, and he's all good now. But dude had a 1-year stretch where he was arrested after passing out in a subway and then driving through a Wendy's naked. I mean, I'm the Arby's worker.
Is it naked or naked? Which do you said it naked twice, so naked is...
That's what I say.
That's what you say.
Yeah, it's a very Southern thing.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Naked.
Yeah, Ginger points out that you said naked.
Nekkid.
See, I always say naked.
Naked. See, I have to make myself do that. I have to make myself say that.
It's all good. I caught it as well. Ginger and I are thinking on the same wavelength, which is probably a terrible sign for Ginger tonight. You should drink up, Ginger. It's bad.
I mean, but I did not know about the Wendy's part.
I didn't know that either.
I mean, I remember Joe Cullen, but he was with the Ravens for a while as defensive line coach, with the Buccaneers for a while. So, anyway, yeah. No, I intentionally changed clothes. I could have worn the same shirt as earlier, but I changed for the show.
Celebrating your Eastern Kentucky Colonel pride.
I am, yes, that's correct. I
went outside, went for a run. It's hotter than you think it is.
It's humid as hell today.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, no God.
The goal was to run 1 hour, and I was 37 minutes in, and I said, "This is stupid. I'm done."
Oh, did you just stop early and go the hell with it?
I ran 37 and then walked the last 3 and got back.
Because you were close to home.
I normally would do another round, and I was like, I don't want to do it.
Okay.
I mean, I started doing that deal in my mind where I'm 51, nobody cares. You justify all this stuff. You tell yourself, well, you're leaner than most 51-year-old guys down here, you know.
All right, so maybe we'll get some people back. If we don't, then that sucks, but it is what it is. There's nothing we could do there.
No, that was completely out of our control. That was not a technical difficulty. That was Mother Nature.
So
7:37 as you start.
Okay. So they call Barney instead. Barney ends up getting them, I think, like taking them to the Manning Center to meet Orgeron. And by this point, it's like 1:30 in the morning, something like that. Well, we have a source, maybe a football player, maybe somebody who's at the party, that starts feeding information or whatever. And I remember calling our journalism advisor and going, hey, look, here's where I got. Nothing's on the record, but it's 100% true. What do we do? Do we run this? Do we not run this? And he approved anonymous sourcing on pretty much everything. So the next morning in the DM, it's got play-by-play of everything that goes on at this party. It is magical. It's a hell of a story. It's great. And because we're kids and because we're not yellow journalism, but you're definitely sensationalizing a little bit.
Of course.
The front page of the whole paper had like Great Oxford Smokeout or something with like a picture of something.
That's fantastic.
And then, it gets better. So the sports page, we basically put like lined up, not their mugshots, but what kind of make it look like mugshots using their biopics.
Yeah.
And then above it says Reb's depth goes up in smoke.
Oh,
and it's all the linebackers. And so the next day we're calling all the parents trying to get like, we're reporting, we're covering.
Yeah.
And, let me back up. About 7 o'clock that morning, phone rings, and it's Katie Lonergan, who used to be a sports information director here. She goes, Chase, where'd you get it? And I'm like, come on, Katie. Like, I've already been around enough. Like, nope. Ed's not happy.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't think you would be.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I learned this lesson, though, was because I was a sports editor at the time. I called a couple of my writers, and I said, okay, we're all going to the press conference, and we're all going to ask a question. We're going to show up, and whatever happens.
We're going to be accountable.
Yeah, whatever it is, you know,
Yes.
and whatever. And Ed never said a word. He was whatever. But that was a big lesson day of, hey, here's where we are, and here's what happens. But they got hammered in Fayetteville. But my point being, we were calling parents, and I actually told Quentin Taylor's mother that he'd been kicked off the team. She had not heard yet when called to be like, hey, what about so-and-so? I think it was Quentin Taylor. It was because that was – remember Gary Pack was in it and Quentin Taylor was in it, and there was a couple other ones during that stretch. But, yeah, Ed, he it was just one thing after another. He had the one dude that intentionally never parked in a parking spot that he was legal. Like, he was some JUCO transfer from somewhere, and he ran up thousands of dollars in parking tickets over the course of the year. I mean, every single day, just one after another, after another, after another. He's learned a lot in those years.
Our pal Webb Moore with the super chat. He has a bunch of questions.
Okay.
I'll go through them, and you can touch whichever one you want. Thoughts on any new players coming in? Arch coming to Ole Miss. I'm going to assume that that's Arch Manning. Do you think NIL will pull him to Ole Miss? How are the girls settling in Arkansas? Do you think Bubba survived the Rona? Best to y'all and the families.
I don't think NIL will have any impact on Arch Manning at all.
None at all. Anywhere.
It still feels like a 3-team race to me.
Yeah, it's Texas, Ole Miss, Clemson in some order.
Yeah,
I don't know what order. I don't think there's necessarily a leader. The girls are good. Campbell's been super busy. Caroline has had the rush experience that you would expect someone to have who has a big sister in a house. And I hope Bubba survived the Rona. We're going to open the phones in a minute and find out. Getting questions about whether we're back or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of is what it is.
Yeah, the number's popping back, so that's good. I mean, it's one of those things. That storm rolled through. It was a pretty powerful cell.
Ooh.
I mean,
that was real.
It had some pop to it for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, Webb, thanks for that. It's good to be back. We were going to do this last week, and I just was not. I didn't get back until 5:30, and I wasn't in the mood. You didn't. I would not have been fun last
You're
Thursday.
Tired.
I was physically beat. I was emotionally beat. Yeah, I wouldn't have been fun. I drove Carson to Tupelo instead for his practice and ran on the track, and that was better. Kind of got my head cleared a little bit.
Track?
His soccer team practices out at Ballard Park, and there's a track around the field where they practice, and sometimes I run it.
He called me Seth, starting in 06. I was Seth in 06 and 07 under Ed.
Do you think he knew your name and he just kept calling you that?
No, I think he thought he heard it wrong the first time, and after then it just became what it was. And at some point, it's what you do. You almost just kind of go with it and go, all right, fine.
Sure, I'll be Seth.
I'm Seth. Like he'd say it, and I go, yeah, hey. Because I mean, you're dealing with that. You're dealing with James Bryant doing James Bryant thing. It was a train wreck of a time.
Kenton says, Neal, Chase, how are you all so confident NIL won't impact Arch's recruiting? I get his family is well off, but it's still money and building a brand. Because his brand
will transcend the schools. He'll get that same deal no matter where he is. Of those three.
Yeah, he's a Manning. He's the nephew of Peyton and Eli Manning.
If Dr. Pepper wants him, Dr. Pepper's not going to decide that, he's at Ole Miss. We're not going to go after him.
He could go to Tulane and get that offer. But Ole Miss is SEC, Texas is SEC, Clemson's ACC. He's going to get – it won't impact him. Jason says, have you tried Blue Canoe in Tupelo? I have not, but now that you say that, Jason, I will try it.
Blue Canoe's good, yeah.
Okay. I'll give it a shot. Mm-hmm. They probably have Wi-Fi?
I would assume they have Wi-Fi.
Then I'm good.
Our buddies from the Georgia site are obsessed with Blue Canoe. Like anytime they played Ole Miss or State, they would always go to Tupelo.
Oh, really?
Roddy and Dash. That's like their
okay.
They're obsessed with Blue Canoe.
I'll give that a shot on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. Because I've got about an hour and 15 minutes, and it makes sense to go work on my mailbag at that point. I can have a beer. I can't drink up and then drive Carson back from Tupelo, but I can have a beer.
Yeah. Arch having so much more name recognition grind. Yeah, you're right. That's a lot different than Quinn Ewers, who's trying to.
Yeah,
and his wasn't about what school. It was just the school gives him more ability than his high school.
Right.
It wasn't choosing Ohio State because of NIL. One drink for the rest of your life. What do you pick? Alcoholic or non-alcoholic, or just alcoholic?
Let's make it alcoholic for the sheer fun of it.
Because otherwise you're going to water or tea or
something.
Yeah, water. Because
water.
I would pick unsweet tea if it was just anything, but because I don't think soda would be good all the time, and I feel like I need something with flavor. The problem with the one the rest of your life is: are you going for just your absolute favorite, or something that's more seasonal and year round? Like, where are you scheming it, or are you just simply picking your favorite?
Go with your favorite. What's your go-to?
Well, then I'll get the best Sazerac I've ever had, and that's the answer every time. Now the problem is, like, there's no social drinking much. Like, hey, you'll sit around and sip on one. Like,
Yeah, I think I would be the best old-fashioned
really,
I've had.
a little lighter, a little sweeter,
Yeah.
little all seasons.
I would think about a margarita.
Yeah,
Like a really good margarita on the rocks.
Wouldn't be in my top 10.
Really?
Tequila does nothing for me.
Well, tequila makes me mean.
You've always believed that different spirits actually change your moods and emotions in different ways.
Bourbon kind of makes me mellow. I'm kind of cool. Well, I'm fine. Tequila gives me an edge.
Yeah, Presley says a good margarita on the rocks with Casamigos tequila.
Yeah.
There's no way I could do champagne as the one drink. I like champagne, but no, it's just that feels too much.
All right, phone lines are open if you want to call. We'd love to hear from you. I think I've got it up where I can. That's what she said.
You think we're good? Margarita over Bloody Mary for sure. I can't stand a Bloody Mary.
Well, Laura says that tequila doesn't make me mean.
Oh.
Okay. I kind of feel like it gives me an edge. But she would know.
Jason says, Chase, buddy of mine can't have bourbon. He gets mean and starts barking at people like a dog. Well, that's not good.
That's not good.
Let's not give him bourbon then.
Hey, who do we have?
Boys, I'm alive. How y'all doing?
Bubba, you made it.
I did. I survived the Rona. Boys have been asking. I'm like a cockroach. You can't get rid of me.
How you been?
I've been all right. I've been a long couple of days. I've been up in White Pine. Daddy basically got trapped in his house. He had lots of rain up here, and his road got washed out. So I had to come up, and he got 13 inches of rain in about 12 hours. So, and came up here yesterday. And
13 inches is a lot, Bubba. That's more.
Neal across the mountain in Haywood County, North Carolina, where his people are from, they got about 14. And they had a landslide, and big wall of water went down the Pigeon River up the holler and killed a bunch of folks.
Oh, my God.
It's really bad, boys.
Really?
Ask y'all to pray for him. But he finally got the power on today, and he's doing all right. So I started drinking just for you boys, and Daddy's asleep. He's done passed out. And,
what are you drinking?
Miller Lite.
Yeah.
Miller Lite.
How are all the pups?
They're doing all right. Well, Free's doing good. He turned 13, and he just eats and uses the bathroom basically. And Miller's all right. He turned into a good puppy. And Mary decided to get her another dog. She got another boy, and his name is Champ. He's all right. I want to name Chase after you, Chase, but she wouldn't let me do it. But I'm much as I'm chasing him around, I tell you what, I think I'm gonna wear her down and do it. But he's good too. Miller, he's just a mama's boy. He hates me and bites me. And he just don't like males at all. So other than that, it's just been all good. Can't complain. How you boys doing?
We're good. Have you you've avoided the virus, or have you had a bout with it, or what's? We hadn't talked to you in a while.
Well, I had it before. Hey man, you boys darn disappeared as quick as that Afghan government. I was watching y'all, and then all of a sudden you're gone for 6 months. I was like, okay, but it's good to have you boys back. I tell you what, I was happy. I was happier than pig and slop when I knew y'all were coming on. And last week I said, oh well, but I tied one on, got drunk, got locked out of the house, but I'd be all right. So I was up there in White Pine, and it's all good. I'll be up here for about 3 more days just to get the road fixed.
Well, it's good to hear from you. We'll look forward to talking to you on Thursday nights.
Hey, I got one question for y'all.
Sure.
I'm going to the Tennessee game with Daddy up here to watch the Rebels. I told him it's Lane's homecoming. And he's single and ready to mingle up in Knoxville this time. And what do y'all think about that game? You think what do you think will happen? And also, who do you think is going to be the newcomer for the team? And I'll hang up, and you boys have a good day. And say a prayer for everyone up in Western North Carolina and East Tennessee is all I ask.
Hey,
have a good night.
Hey, Bubba, real quick.
Yep.
Real quick. I'm going to spell a word for you. Tell me how you pronounce it, okay?
All right.
Naked.
Naked.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Bubba.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Have a good night.
Felt like that was a free space.
It was, but
Just saying.
yeah. Newcomer, you expect to do well?
You going with Austin Keys?
Is he a newcomer?
No, but I mean he hadn't played to an extent.
Yeah, he'd be way up there. I mean, free space on newcomers, Chance Campbell.
Yeah, but I mean that's feels very free space.
And by the way, when you listen to his press conference today, just tip your hat and say, Neal, you knew what you were doing, didn't you? Yes, sir, I did. Thank you. Been doing this a while. Sort of knew what to look for. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I think while Lane is going to be annoyed by Liberty Week, he's going to be completely locked in Tennessee Week.
Yes.
I feel like they're going to beat the Balls by.
Well, I think they're significantly better than Tennessee, and Lane will be completely locked in. There's a couple of trap spots on the schedule. That's not one.
No, Tennessee's not a trap game at all.
No. He'll be dialed in.
That's one that's not going to be Josh Heupel's fault.
No.
Just is what it is.
No, I mean, there's a couple of spots. I mean, I think Auburn's good, number one, and then number two, the way that game falls on the schedule, I just hate it for Ole Miss. Every time I look at it,
that's really the one you have.
I'm like, ooh, that's bad. Because I think Ole Miss is going to get locked into LSU a week before.
Do you really?
Yeah, because I think they're going to be 5-1. LSU's going to come here, the Eli Manning thing, the Arch thing. We're going to talk Arch all week. They're going to retire Eli's number finally, all that stuff. Yeah, I think it's going to be a huge game. And then 7 days later, you turn around and you go to Jordan-Hare.
Mm-hmm.
Realistic Reb, thank you so much for the super chat. That's awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. He says, over-under predictions for the SEC teams.
I have it up. We won't go game by game. I mean, sorry, we won't look at the schedules because that'll take forever. But just a little quick first blush at all of them.
Sure.
Florida over under 9.
It's about right. Can I push?
Push feels real because if you lose to Georgia, that's 1, and you think they lose 2 more.
Yeah, although Kentucky got a bunch of guys arrested today, so they got some issues.
6, I think.
Yeah.
Was it guys who play?
Couple who play.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you told me though, if I can't hit a push, I'll go over.
I would go over if I couldn't push.
Yeah, gives them 1 more loss and then go from there. Georgia over or under 10.5?
I'll go over.
I think over. I think 11-1 or 12-0.
Yeah.
For Georgia.
I mean, just first blush. That's what comes to mind. Sure.
Yeah, I think so too. Kentucky 7.
Over.
You think they're better than 7?
I do.
Non-conference games: ULM, Chattanooga, New Mexico State, and Louisville.
Yeah, we're 4-0 right there.
Yeah, so there's that. They also have 5 of their first 6 at home, including matchups against LSU and Florida.
Yeah, win one of those and you're in the clear.
They also get so that's that. Missouri 7.
I don't have their schedule in front of me.
Central Michigan, Southeast Missouri State, Boston College, North Texas in the non-league.
So it's 4.
Unless they lose to BC, yeah.
Probably over, but that's a weird.
If they said they went 3-5, I would not even be a little stunned.
Yeah, like they play.
But here's the problem: you get Carolina and Vanderbilt.
You do.
That's 6.
They have to go to Arkansas. That's a weird spot for them. Arkansas had them beat a year ago. Couldn't finish it.
Also, if you're actually gambling this, the over is -139, so you're getting fairly bad odds on the over as well.
Okay.
South Carolina 3.5.
Ooh.
Because they're only going to get 3 wins in the non-league.
If that.
But here's the deal. All you got to do is beat Vanderbilt. Over.
And Vanderbilt's going, all we have to do is beat South Carolina.
Well, okay, but
Yeah.
I'm over.
Okay.
Eastern Illinois, ECU, Troy, Vanderbilt. It's an over.
Okay.
They have the top returning running back in the league from a yardage
That's
standpoint.
true.
Now look, they suck, but
Yeah.
saying.
Okay.
I mean, I'm reading from Athlon, and they said I tried to find only 3 wins so I could play the under, but unfortunately 4 or 5 is what I keep coming up with.
It's probably right.
Tennessee 6, Bowling Green, Pitt, Tennessee Tech, South Alabama. What?
I was responding to a text.
Oh, okay.
Say it again.
Bowling Green, Pitt, Tennessee Tech, South Alabama.
Pittsburgh's decent. South Alabama's going to be okay.
Tennessee won 7-5.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
Under.
But somebody has to win these games
I understand.
with Vanderbilt and Carolina and Tennessee.
But I go back to what I said the other day. I think if you put the 2 bottom SEC West teams in the East,
yeah,
Arkansas and Mississippi State, they would finish middle of the pack in the East.
yeah.
I do. I think both Arkansas and Mississippi State would pick up wins.
Vanderbilt, their non-league games: East Tennessee State, Colorado State,
Oof.
Stanford, UConn. Over under 3.
Well, they're going 0-8 in the league.
And they're not sweeping those.
They're not beating Colorado State.
And they're not beating Stanford.
It's under.
Yeah, 2-10. I mean, I think they'll beat ETSU, and I think they'll beat UConn.
Yeah, I think.
I think. I mean,
I'm always alarmed when someone close to the program says historically bad. I'm like, whoa.
Well, we've been saying this about Vanderbilt like the last 2 or 3 years. They've been historically bad.
Yeah. And I spoke to Clark Lee at Media Days, just me and him for a second.
You feel bad for him.
And I did. And how'd you think today went? He's like, anytime you get a chance to talk about the program, that's a good thing. I mean, I know enough coach speak to know that, it's not good.
Mm-hmm. Alabama 11.5.
Over.
Is their over-under.
I'm going over. I'm not picking them to lose until they lose. I just go over. To hell with it. They never lose.
I think they lose a game.
Okay.
11-1.
I mean, I hope you're right.
I mean, do you? You care?
I'd like for them to lose.
Arkansas 5.5. Rice, Texas, Georgia Southern, Pine Bluff.
So 3-1 non-league at least.
3-1. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You're playing with that game.
that Texas game to me is interesting.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
Yeah. But 3-1, and then who are their league games? I think they beat Mississippi State at home, and I think they could beat Missouri, and then it gets real squirrely. They're not beating Auburn. They get Auburn at home, but they're not going to beat Auburn.
They feel like 5 or 6 wins, and this is a stay away. I wouldn't touch this with anything.
That's that number's right.
Auburn has a 7 over-under.
Over.
Akron, Alabama State, Penn State, Georgia State.
So at least 3-1.
Mm-hmm. But at 3-1, they got to go 5-3 in the league
To get over, yeah.
And you got Georgia, you got Alabama.
Georgia and Alabama are losses.
A&M, Ole Miss. No,
It's tough.
I don't like that at all. I'm under maybe on Auburn.
Okay.
I think Auburn's 6-6 this season.
I think they're 7-5, so I'm pushing them.
LSU 8.5.
Call me crazy, but I like the under here. I don't like them. I don't like teams in utter chaos.
They can't get there if they don't win their non-league, which means they got to go to UCLA and win out there.
And I think they probably will.
They probably will, but I will say, we say the SEC teams always win those games. They do not play well on the road out west.
No.
SEC teams in general lose out west a lot.
We've seen SEC teams go west and lose.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mississippi State, 6. La Tech, NC State, Memphis, Tennessee State.
They could go 2-2 in the non-league.
They could.
They've got Memphis is good.
Yeah.
And NC State's going to give them all they want.
I wouldn't want the over.
No.
Because it could be dead before you ever start. Now, they could also go 4-0 in the non-league.
They could.
That still requires 3 SEC wins.
Yeah.
Ole
He's
Miss,
running
about that.
Yeah, he's running the air raid in the SEC. I just don't like it.
A&M 9.5.
Over.
Yeah. Kent State, Colorado, New Mexico, Prairie View.
It's 4 right there.
They're
no worse than 10-2.
Okay.
They're really good. They're defensively maybe the best.
I do still want to see their quarterback play a little bit.
I do too, but defensively they could be the best team in the league. And they're uber talented on that side of the ball. And they're going to be able to run it. And Jimbo's a good coach.
Yeah, I don't see Missouri finishing last in the East. That would take a monumental collapse from the Tigers.
Because there's 3 teams that are clearly worse than Missouri in the East.
Yeah. Missouri's fine. They're not great. They're not even good, but they're fine.
No, they're fine.
Yeah.
And he's a good coach. They're not going to bottom out. Making sure I haven't missed any calls. I don't think I have.
I expected that to be a little lighter today. It's not football time yet.
Yeah.
I didn't expect us to have women's soccer on tonight, but here we are.
I was going to turn the Ole Miss game on, like I said, but that clearly is not happening. If it is happening, someone tell us. I'll flip to it, but I don't think it is. Grind says A&M will not be better than Georgia or Alabama defensively. I won't argue, but they'll be good. Russell, that's very, very nice. He says, can't hear anything because I'm in a loud restaurant, but thanks for all the pods. I listen when I run.
Where you at, Russell?
It's very kind of you.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Love to hear from you.
Where you at?
Jacob says A&M's loaded in the trenches. And you know me.
You like the line play.
Well, this is the old man in me coming out. I've covered the league a long time, and I watch the lines. It's the one reason that I'm not just crazy bullish on Ole Miss. I'm worried about Ole Miss's defensive line. Mm-hmm. I think Ole Miss's offensive line is going to be very good. Actually, I'm really bullish on the Ole Miss offense. I know people are like, well, they don't have a second receiver and Elijah Moore, and I get it. I think they're going to score a lot of points.
And a lot of that is you just have a belief in Lebby and Kiffin to figure it out, and Corral.
I do, and when your quarterback's that good,
mm-hmm.
and I'm all in on Corral. I think Corral's going to shock people. But I worry a little bit about defensive line. Mexican restaurant in Memphis, he says.
Yeah.
Soccer games officially canceled due to field conditions. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It really rained.
Big time crowded Mexican restaurant at 8 o'clock on a Thursday, huh?
Yeah. Oh, the number's gone. I need to put the number back up.
I guess that would.
Oh, that would help. Let's see. There it is. All right, there's the number. 662-259-0991 is the number.
I guess it's a good point.
I haven't been
Georgia.
doing this in a while. I'm out of practice.
That's a good point, Georgia. He told me he couldn't hear, and then I did not type anything in. I just asked a question. That was not necessarily the smartest thing I've done today.
It's true. Well, we haven't done this in a while.
It's a little rusty. The Patriots, we're watching Patriots-Eagles, they really should go back to their old-time uniforms.
Yeah.
Instead of having the cleanest, maybe best uniform in the league.
They have one of the worst.
Yeah, because the blue on blue looks like an American Conference team or a Sun Belt team.
The blue on blue with the silver helmet, I don't like. The Patriot in the 3-point stance is fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, who do we have?
Hey, guys, this is Tucker over in Memphis.
Hey, Tucker, how are you?
I'm doing good, buddy.
Good to hear from you. What's going on?
Well, I was kind of listening to the pod yesterday, and I'm happy to inform you that I'm within the rules. I'm getting married next weekend, 1 week before football season starts.
Oh, that's
completely in the rules.
Completely in the rules. Yeah, absolutely. There's
and
nothing
that
wrong
was
with
the
that.
thing that was the big caveat I had. I was like, look, it's like a sin to get married, during football season in the fall. We have to do it 1 week before, and then we're going to fly into Atlanta and go to the game after the honeymoon, and we're all good.
Yeah, there's nothing in the world wrong with that.
Where are you going for the honeymoon?
We're going to Cabo.
Okay.
So here's my thing on honeymoons. I don't know where you guys went, but my thought process was everybody goes to all these remote places they've never been to before, and you get there, and you've never been there before, so you know what it's going to be like. And what if there's nothing to do? What if it just sucks, And then I was like, everybody's been to Cabo, or I know a lot of people who go to Cabo. I know Cabo doesn't suck, so that seemed like the safe choice.
Yeah, I did spring break in Cabo in 2007, I think is when it was. And the thing is, though, you got to have a different Cabo than you've got at Cabo at 21. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a whole different Cabo.
I've never been to Cabo, but I know like I said, had a bunch of people that have gone, loved it. We're doing the resort thing, probably won't even leave. It's definitely a different spring break versus honeymoon type trip, but at least, on the baseline, it's going to be good.
Oh, no, there's no doubt about that. I mean, just get recommendations on, hey, this is here. We know what this is going on. I mean, that makes all the sense in the world.
So Chase, are we going to get the potato log logo on an Imperial hat? I mean, can we make that happen?
Imperial is they like their hats. The margins are not very good on Imperial. Actually though, I might have a beat on that because we're talking to a different person here in the last few weeks. Might have a way to get that done.
I think I'd wear it.
You think you'd wear that?
Well, and we've not done a very good job of marketing the potato log. In fact, I just found it the other day when I was playing around, and I said, "Oh, we need to put that out there." And so I've got it on the screen today, and I might start using it a little bit more.
So do you want the Imperial rope hat, or more like a
just straight up. Well, you could do 3 different things. You could do the regular Imperial hat. You could do like the mesh trucker hat that you've got on right now.
Okay.
And then you could go rope hat with just straight up I mean, I think it'd be hilarious. And honestly, for me, I'd wear it on the golf course.
I would wear it too. As a matter of fact, I wear the T-shirt some. And people look at it funny.
You start playing with somebody on the course, and they're like, "What the heck is that?" And then you've got a nice little intro. Well, podcast I listen to every day. You should check it out.
That's fair.
It's a conversation piece.
Yeah, no, I'm all about the Imperial products. We had to find a supplier that could get that done.
Yeah, it's certainly a conversation starter.
Well, listen, good luck with the wedding and the honeymoon and all that stuff, and congratulations.
Awesome. Appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good night.
I've discovered that I've got not a glitch here, but this was.
What's wrong?
Well, nothing's wrong, but I've got I'm having to go back and forth between putting the number up and then putting on the screen who's on the line.
Oh, they won't all sit up there at the same time?
Well, they can, but it just was. I wasn't really thinking.
It's oddly been a fairly slow news day, unless you're covering Miami or something. There's not been a ton going on today.
The Miami story's crazy.
Yeah, former Miami player arrested in the killing of a teammate from a 2006 murder.
And he was who the teammates originally suspected right off the top.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they turned it in as a lead, and the cops basically dropped the ball on it. But the arrest was made today.
God, Larry Coker getting that phone call today is going, God, that was 15 years. Because his quote is just, it's really a surprise. I'm just glad things are moving forward and things are getting solved.
Yeah, I don't get the impression from hearing what I've read about it today that it was truly a surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through it. That's insane.
Yeah, it's a wild story.
The Raiders and Rams had a joint practice in early because of a brawl. I know we're all shocked.
Oh, wow.
Today, yeah.
Wow. Hey, who do we have?
This is regular size Ben.
Hey, Ben, what's up?
What's up?
How are you?
Hey, want to let you know, Neal, Looking News Wi-Fi is down, man. It's been down for a while. I don't know if it's a COVID casualty or what, but I go there pretty often, and not only is it down, but it's also usually probably more crowded than you'd want to be, you know.
Well,
if I were you, the first place that comes to mind really is probably somewhere like Mug Shots, like downtown.
Yeah, I thought about Mug Shots.
Everybody that is there is probably from out of town somewhere else, you know, and they might not know who you are.
I went to Buffalo Wild Wings on Tuesday, and it was just jam packed in there. It was like, wow. Like the one in Oxford's never that packed, and the one in Tupelo was just filled to the brim with people. I couldn't get a seat.
I've been living here about 15 years. I've been there probably twice, maybe. I don't know.
Man, it was absolutely packed. I mean, there wasn't a seat open in the place.
I like the way you handled Chet earlier today. He was trying to, I know what he was trying to do, but you called his bluff, and that was.
Asking Romero.
Cool.
Oh yeah, I don't even remember. That was 3 podcasts ago. I don't even remember.
Yeah. Hey, I want to know what's in that. I noticed on your intro the tater log, the tater. What's in his hand? I can't tell what that is.
A glass of bourbon.
Yeah, a glass of bourbon. He's just.
Shit.
He's just the potato that could.
Okay. All right. Well, hey. Tylen Knight. What are y'all hearing about Tylen? Is he a first teamer? Is he a second teamer? Is he a red? Is he a blue? Is he a green?
Be careful of the depth chart over there.
He's definitely first team. I don't know whether he's red, blue, green, magenta, periwinkle. I'm not sure, but he's essentially. So they're running a 3-2-6, but a couple of the spots on DB are up near the line of scrimmage, and he's one of those guys that, look, I know he's small, but he's a really physical player. And
dude, I know.
And then they play 3 safeties, really. They play Keedron Smith, Otis Reese, and A.J. Finley. And all of those guys are able to get in the box and play physically. So, yeah, it's basically they would play a different defense, but they just don't have a bunch of defensive linemen to use. And so when they've got more linebackers, and if you told me that one of the reasons we're not at practice this week is because they're changing it up, I'd buy it. Who knows, right? But, yeah, Tylen's going to play a whole lot.
I'm so glad because, at some point, last year, I kind of got made fun of and laughed at. It seemed like when I compared Snoop Connor to Brandon Bolden, and then, but I compared Tylen Knight to a even smaller Mike Hilton, and he just got a nose for football, man. He's just a baller. He just shows up on game day, and he's going to be where the action is every single time. And that's what I see out of him.
So Georgia Rebel,
I may get laughed at now about that, but just watch and see what happens if he gets a chance.
Ben, Georgia Rebel says Knight over Springer, ? Well, here's the thing about Springer. In the parts that we've been to practice, he's been in a black no contact jersey. So he's not been running with the ones, and I don't know whether that's because he's not a 1 or whether that's because he's in a black no contact jersey. So, again, the season's still 17, 18 days away. So they're not, and then they're not going to tell us. I mean, they're going to put out a depth chart on the Monday before the game, and it is going to be so full of ors and ands that it's going to be funny.
Well, I feel like I got a pretty terrible football IQ, but Tylen Knight on defense and Snoop Connor on offense is what I've been preaching and beating the drum on for quite a while now, and I'm gonna hang up and we'll holler at you. Glad to have you back.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
saw Russell in there. That's somewhere about the potential policies for the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta this weekend. I looked it up a second ago. So unless they change something, they are trying to keep the roof open for all events there in Atlanta. But either way, the policies remain the same. No masks are required in open air areas.
Yeah.
They are required in club areas is the way that the Mercedes-Benz
press
Stadium
box will be masked.
Club levels and press box is the way I interpreted that. Patios are part of open air, not part of club.
Okay.
So that is what I'm seeing from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium website.
Our thanks to Gulf Coast Reb for the super chat. He says, appreciate you guys. Waiting on our fellow Tennessee fan to call in. He has a rough road ahead. And Grind, my wife, sends a War Eagle your way. We got another call. Let's see. Hey, who do we have? Hey, who's this?
Hey, this is Jason.
Hey, Jason, what's up?
What's going on?
We're good. How are you?
Yeah, all's good.
I was just, I got 3 girls, and I know both of y'all have girls. How much you dreading their weddings coming in the future, and how are you planning on financing those?
By the time it matters for me, who knows what even the protocols are going on or anything. I mean, it might be a whole different social set by then.
Actually,
yeah, my wife and I talked about. We said we're just going to give them X amount of money and tell them they can spend it however they want to, and if it's for a wedding or a honeymoon or put it in a bank account, it doesn't matter.
I actually had I kind of had a dream, or for some reason this thought crossed my mind the other day, and I think I was thinking about Caroline. Caroline's been on my mind this week because she's freshly out of the house, and she married in my dream. She was marrying some boy from Oxford who came from one of the big families with 8 gazillion friends, and it was, hey, we need to invite all of these people. And in my mind, I was doing math, and the number was like astronomical, and I was like cold sweat.
Yeah, that's my concern with having 3 of them is astronomical. Marrying somebody who you got to try to impress, that kind of thing.
Well, or they have a massive family and tons of friends, and you already know them, and so you sort of get it. You know what I mean? That
yeah.
And so, what do you do at that point? I mean, you just, I guess you just bite the bullet and never retire and work until your final breath. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
I got one more question, and I got a comment for the other guy who called about his honeymoon. I got a recommendation for him before I ask you the question. My wife and I got married, and due to our schedules, we had to delay our honeymoon a few months. And the day before we went on a honeymoon, found out she was pregnant. So, just a recommendation: don't do that. It's a poor idea. So my other question is, if you go into a wedding, what's the 2 most important things as far as cost to spend on, or things that you like to see at a wedding? For us, it was alcohol and band were the 2 most important things to spend money on. And I'll hang up and let y'all do the rest.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's food and drink and band, because I mean you're trying to be entertained, and then obviously refreshments in all ways is the answer. I mean, I think that's a pretty simple one. I mean,
yeah.
Like I don't know anybody goes, hey, well, let me tell you the place settings. That's what really did it for me.
Yeah, no.
So
no, you want it to be a party. Now I've already talked to both of the girls because I know where they're going to school, and I know there's a lot of Cardinals fans there. They sort of know that's not tolerated.
Entertaining.
Yeah, but not really tolerated.
You would have a hard time with the really hardcore Cardinals fan.
Yeah, and not only me, but Carson.
Oh, he was trouble.
Yeah, he would troll him.
If it's the sidewalk Cardinals fan that just, my favorite team's the Cardinals, sure.
Maybe.
Then you worry about his dedication. Like, hey, no,
yeah, I worry about, so you're just sort of halfway in this.
But like the guy that's coming in and telling you about all the titles, you don't want that dude either.
No.
That guy's not welcome.
No, that we've won 15
Yeah,
championships
yeah.
or whatever. Like, you hadn't won jack.
Yeah, Carson would have a hard time with the guy who's like reciting all the AA players for the Cardinals and going through their system.
No, he would not be happy. No, that would be that. No, that would not go over well.
I did not see that, Grind. He really said that? Did y'all see LeBron say he won the 2 hardest championships in NBA history?
Yeah, Ginger points out, if Caroline brings home a guy that's drafted in the first round by the Cardinals, that's a different thing entirely.
Well, he couldn't help that.
Yeah,
it wasn't his decision.
Hey, they picked him.
Neal will wear the birds on the bat then.
Yeah, I mean, I got a price.
Well, I mean, look, it does say something. The one day in your life you put a Cardinals jersey in, the room flooded.
Yes.
The IPF flooded the one day Neal had to wear it to practice.
I lost a bet and had to wear a Cardinals jersey all week for a week. I need to put the number up.
I think I still have a picture of that somewhere on my phone.
I did not like that jersey.
It was cheap too, right? Wasn't it kind of like...
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to buy authentic, so I bought a knockoff.
You didn't like buy the $250 Pujols jersey?
No, I bought like the $49 or whatever
was
it was.
Freeze?
Knockoff. David Freeze.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that was like 2012, 11-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, he could always leave via free agency. That's true.
I think the bet was you had to wear it to all football activity for a week.
No,
right?
I had to wear it everywhere for a week.
Yeah.
If I was awake and going somewhere, I had to wear it.
Oh, it was everywhere, not
Everywhere.
just football activities.
I had to wear it everywhere.
Okay, I didn't remember that.
And I did. I wore it the whole week. Because a bet's a bet.
Okay.
But I hated that jersey. Everybody's like, don't you love their jersey? I'm like, no, I hate it.
Patriots are up 25-0 for whatever that means tonight.
Well, it means exactly nothing. The number, Frank, is 662-259-0991. 662-259-0991. I had no idea how many calls we would get or if we would even get calls tonight. Because we haven't done this in forever. And it's not quite
I knew it
football.
wouldn't be like it will be when football actually starts.
Yeah. Hey, who do we have?
This is James.
Hey, James, what's up?
Hey, just kind of wanted to touch on the wedding thing. I got a little situation I need y'all's opinion on.
All right, well, that's what we're here for.
So I booked my wedding in Oxford on Valentines Day.
Okay.
And now the NFL announced that they added one more week, which also makes it Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah. So
the day you're getting married the day before?
Yeah, the day before.
Okay. All right.
Is this a a-hole move, or what are y'all thoughts?
No, I mean, they can still watch the Super Bowl. The game's not going to start till 6 o'clock the next day.
That's the thing. They actually have time to travel back home all day Sunday. Now they're going to feel like hell at work on Monday, but that's not your problem.
Yeah, that's a them problem.
Lots of Saints fans too, so they won't have that much interest in it. But
that's fair. True. Just tip my hat and move on.
Yeah.
No, I think you're perfectly fine there. I think there's no. I mean, because look, here's the thing too. I see Georgia says no, holiday wedding, no bueno. Valentine's Day, you actually get this like built-in thing to go to without having to worry about that. That's almost kind of brilliant for the guys.
Oh, and from a anniversary standpoint, it's genius.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, saving a little money there.
Yeah, I actually think that works out for everybody. I fully approve of that one. I think it's no issue.
Throw a Super Bowl Sunday party for people who want to stay around?
I mean, are you still in town?
Are you still in town, or when do you leave for your honeymoon?
Probably later that week. I'll still be in town.
Yeah, sure. What the hell?
Make a weekend of it.
Make a weekend of it. Have a party. That actually solves your problem.
Do you have a lot of people that are in town, or is it a lot of like out of town guests?
It's all out of town.
Oh, really?
Will they still?
Yeah,
how many of them are leaving on Sunday?
Yeah, would they be willing to watch Super Bowl and still leave town on Monday?
That's what I don't know.
Because Sunday is such a getaway day for a wedding.
Because we can turn this into an event. I mean, you and your new wife and Chase and I, we could throw a big party.
Hey, if you pay for the venue, I'm down.
Well, no, that wouldn't be part of the deal. Well, maybe we could work we could work something out.
How big of a wedding are we talking about?
Yeah, how many people?
200, 250.
Okay.
Not that big.
No, normal size.
Pretty standard. Yeah.
The more I think about it, I think you're actually really on to something here.
Getting married on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I have no – or just that weekend in general.
Yeah.
Like I have no –
Because Valentine's Day is a weird – the longer you're married, the more that holiday gets weird.
So you want to know why I originally picked that date?
Sure, why not?
So it was originally the weekend after football ended and the weekend before baseball ended.
Weekend before baseball began, you mean?
Baseball began, so
Okay.
I wasn't going to miss any.
It was the one week week you had between those two. Well, I mean, at least there you're setting a very clear expectation with the bride.
You're letting her know
she can't later go, "Hey, I didn't know that was important to you." Well, no, that's on you.
You're letting her know quickly where your priorities are.
She's known that, yeah.
Yeah, then I think if that's the case, you should definitely throw a Super Bowl party.
It requires enough people to still be around, though.
Yeah, I mean, if a quarter,
you've got to have a justifiable amount of people remaining.
But if 50 people stayed, that's plenty for a Super Bowl party.
That's too many, really.
Actually, if 30 stayed, you could have a good party.
Yeah, that's what's hard to gauge. Who's going to want to stay?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what you got to find out, right?
Okay, so Presley, what's wrong with the no to the Valentine's wedding? Why are we wrong?
Presley says no to Valentine's Day weddings, just no.
Yeah, tell us why we're wrong.
Ginger says it's a Hallmark holiday. I hate it. And Presley says, yes, Ginger, the worst. My husband and I don't even give cards or acknowledge.
Okay, tell us why it's bad. Because, see, to me, that would be more of a reason why it's perfectly fine. Because if we're not celebrating it anyway, then what difference does it make?
Well, then you celebrate your anniversary instead of the Hallmark holiday. Because it is
now your only problem is if you're ever trying to do something for your anniversary, you're set with prefix menus the entire time. If you're doing that week,
well, you could cook a meal for her, which would.
But every single time. That's my point, though. Like if you ever, that's the only mild inconvenience to me is that moving forward, you're dealing with those Valentine's Day menus at all the restaurants.
Another reason to use the green egg.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's fine. If that's your jam, that's the way you choose. Sure, no issues. Because you get half the gifts, I get part of the argument. But if you're not doing that anyway, yeah, going to a restaurant on Valentine's Day is the worst.
Yeah,
that's awful.
Yeah. Well, once you're married,
that's the negative here.
Once you're married, are you really
doing
the Valentine's Day
I'm trying to
thing?
come up with things.
Are you a Hallmark holiday? You're not a Hallmark holiday guy at all.
No. What is y'all's expectation for Valentine's Day moving forward? You there?
I've not thought that far ahead.
Y'all have not discussed this, James?
No.
Yeah.
It was solely because I didn't want to miss opening weekend in case the Rose played in L.A.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I get it. All right, James, thanks for the call. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Presley said it's too cliche. Even if you don't celebrate it, everyone will think you're doing it to be cutesy. It does come off like you're trying to be a storybook a little bit. There's just people when you go, hey, when you get married, we're getting married on Valentine's Day. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
you'd have to kind of explain that one and be believed that it's not.
Look, if 15, 20 years into your marriage, you're still having to really blow out Valentine's Day.
No, that's different though. Ginger says, I'm also with Avery. Whatever. I'm also with Avery. Don't give me an engagement ring for Christmas either. That's soft. I get that.
I'm with that.
But if we're not celebrating Valentine's anyway,
because if you celebrate,
then that's not losing. That's not trying to double up the capital on an occasion.
Right.
That's just a date.
Hey, who do we have?
Yeah.
Hey, Gron, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Oh, we're just we're trying to save marriages and things like that. We're solving real world problems here, man.
Yeah, I'm about to say out here doing the Lord's work, doing good deeds, man.
That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're here for. We're here to save marriages.
It's basically Dear Abby.
We're Dear Abby. How you been?
Man, Harry got started up. That means football season is upon us, in my opinion, man. That's what I say.
It's almost here. Two more weeks. 2 more weeks. It's still.
Well, it's only like 8 days away now from the first game. Somebody playing 8 days or something like that next Thursday.
Ooh, that's a good question. Is that right? Is there a college game next Thursday?
Oh, look, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the NFL doesn't start for another. Is it 3 weeks from tonight?
I think that's right.
NFL starts September the 9th. I'm pretty sure. So that's 3 weeks.
Yeah, August 28th has 5 games.
Is that a Thursday?
That's a Saturday.
Saturday.
August 28th has Nebraska at Illinois.
Okay.
UConn at Fresno. Hawaii at UCLA. UTEP at New Mexico State. And Southern Utah at San Jose State.
Nebraska, Illinois. I'm in.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah. I'll take that, Nebraska, Illinois.
I mean, you're going to see
I'm about to say that.
two big, slow teams kind of going at each other. It's going to be fun.
Look, I don't think Nebraska's going to be any good, but I will say the Martinez kid is underrated.
Well, we get to watch Scott Frost try to take his job. I mean,
Brett Bielema, you get to see him kind of waddle up and down the sidelines. I mean, it's good television.
Yeah. Speaking of words, man, my friend did me so wrong, bro. Bama, there's just another reason why Bama fans are just not, sometimes they can be the worst people on earth. Sometimes they can, man.
So
out of all the years where, I finally get a good, Ole Miss gonna come in, I think the Jordan Hare Stadium hyped up, and I got, I'm gonna be a part of a wedding.
Yeah, that does suck. I mean, that does make you sort of reflect on the friendship and ask whether it's really worth it.
And the crazy part is, man, I met this guy in college, and I call him my evil twin because we have the same exact birthday. Like, we were born on the same day, same year. It's just, he a Bama fan for some reason. Like,
so y'all just have one very key difference.
So what would happen if you just said, listen, you're my guy and all, but I can't do it?
Oh, man. Okay, see, it'd be not only he, but the other guys in our group, they would be like, man, you wrong for that. And they would be like, come on, man, They was like, bro, you can still check the game on your phone and everything. That's what they'll hit me with. All the guys in our group, that's what they'll do.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. And you don't know what time the game's going to be. Maybe there's a chance that the game's early and the wedding's that night. Maybe you get a chance to do both. But
what is the game? Who are they playing?
It's Ole Miss Auburn.
Oh, it's Ole Miss. Okay.
And Alabama's off that weekend.
Yeah, Alabama's off that week. And so that's why he chose that week. Him and his girl, they both Bama fans. And I was like, all right, man. It is what it is on that, man. But I was gonna talk about, before I get into some SEC stuff, man. The conference expansion stuff. To me, the interesting part, in from like the Oklahoma, Texas, and like the SEC perspective. I mean, it's just us, just getting better. It means more down here. You already know. But I think, I listen to some Kansas State, Iowa State stuff, and really with Kansas State, man, I don't from them, they were basically prepping their fans, hey, man, if all this fails and you had to go to Colorado State, I know you guys will still send 30,000 fans up to Fort Collins, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that is a fall off. I couldn't imagine listening to an Auburn podcast and them telling me, hey, you guys, you got to, this new rivalry with Georgia State, is gonna have to embrace it. I could not fathom that.
That's a good point. I'm
trying to fix his sound, by the way. They're saying that they can't.
In a tunnel a little bit.
They're saying they can't understand him, and I'm looking at it and I'm trying to figure it out. In case you wonder what I'm.
Do I sound a little better now?
That cleared up a little to us.
Yeah, a little
I don't know what they're hearing different from what we're hearing. I hear you well enough to understand you. No, look,
Okay.
Texas and Oklahoma, yeah, fine, whatever, that'll be whatever. But that's why if you're one of the irate 8 or whatever, or you're one of these other schools and you're left out of what is now essentially 2 conferences, if we're just being honest, I guess 3 counting the ACC, is, yeah, you lose, even if it's not your rival, the programs you're striving to be, you lose those. You lose the familiarity. And you replace it with what your schools see as basically a bunch of non-conference bye games, as suddenly the teams you're competing against. I mean, no, it's devastating to programs in a way that's just kind of it. I mean, they might get some decent money. They might. I mean, it's not going to be SEC dollars, but somebody might pay them for a TV contract. They might get whatever. But from an overall fan morale, from just kind of their standing, they're crushed and done. That's it, unless you're in one of these three leagues, depending on whatever the hell the Pac-12 ends up doing.
And see, okay, look, I'm going, because this is what I've been hearing. And so I'm going to make you guys in this situation are going to be like the czars of college football. You guys get to determine which conferences get Power 5 status and whatnot. And so they saying that if the Big 12, once Texas and Oklahoma officially leave, if they can add BYU, Navy, Army, and Boise State, that they should be able to keep Power 5 status. And I was like, I don't know about that one, man.
Well, so my first question would be, so their TV deal is with Fox. So my question would be, would Fox renew on that?
And this is what they've been saying. They're saying that they already know that the deal with Fox will be less than what it is. And they've been saying that they're willing to take a smaller deal with Fox if Fox allows them to incorporate a streaming partner with their TV deal. So basically what they've been saying is they're banking on fans like, us in the South, to be so football crazy that we'll pay an extra $10 a month to Hulu to watch Big 12 games.
Ooh, boy, I don't know, man. I mean,
maybe Birmingham, but that's about it.
I just so this is where you run into the problem, and the problem is when you look at the Big 12 and you study their, and I've read a lot about this, and I've actually pulled some extra stuff up because I was really curious about it. I went down the rabbit hole a couple of times. When you look at the Big 12 ratings in football, so the magic number is 4 million viewers. The TV people, if you get if you've seen this?
Yeah.
If you get 4 million viewers, the TV people say it's worth the buy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take away games involving Texas and or Oklahoma, they don't have any of those. I mean, there's like one here and one there. But for the most part, they all fall completely under there. Like the example that was used was West Virginia. West Virginia, since they've joined the Big 12, has been involved in four $4 million games. I'll let you guess how many of those involve Texas or Oklahoma.
I'm going to say all of them.
Yeah, and so that's the problem. And so when West Virginia goes and says, hey, we want to join the ACC, or we want to join the SEC, or we want to join the Big Ten, those leagues look at it and say, well, what do you bring to the table? And the answer is nothing. And that's the problem. Yeah. And so when they go shopping or into this is the problem with the whole irate 8, is that outside of Texas and Oklahoma, no one in that league, and I mean literally no one, carries water. It's the opposite of this is where I went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I said, so I'm going to go check the SEC. Who in the SEC can pull the 4 million all the time? Alabama, obviously, Georgia, Florida, LSU, Tennessee gets it, Ole Miss gets it, A&M gets it. It's more than half of the league, and that's all you need. Now you're not dependent on just it would be the SEC if the SEC had Alabama and Florida carrying the whole damn league. I mean, just putting everybody on their back and huffing and puffing to the finish line. It's not that way. This is not about winning and losing games. This is about getting eyeballs. More than half of the league consistently gets $4 million with their brand. And so the league now adds Texas and Oklahoma. The numbers go up even more because now you have 2 more teams that consistently carry that. And the SEC, it's bank.
Yeah, when I pay $10 for the year to get Big 12 without Texas and Oklahoma.
No.
You'd get annoyed if there'd be games you couldn't see, but you'd have to get really annoyed, I think, to actually hit the button. Now, I will say, it was mentioned in the thread here, I think Sammy said it, they would almost have to sell out themselves a little bit and play a bunch of weeknight games. Now then,
yeah, but you and
more
I work
fan bases would be more willing to do that.
But you and I work in the subscription service.
Yeah.
I mean, so the moment that somebody has a little economic catastrophe in their life,
that's what they drop.
They go look at what am I subscribed to, and they kill it.
Yeah.
They dropping that quick.
Yeah, and so
you ain't learning about that.
And so I don't know. I mean, yeah, if Texas Tech is going to play Baylor on Wednesday night, okay, sure, but are they really going to sign off on that? Because when you do that, now you got to go sell it to recruits. You got to sell it. That's a hard thing. You got to sell it a season ticket package. You got to tell season ticket holders, hey, we're going to play on Wednesday nights. Well, people work on Thursday.
Yeah, you got to sell it. You got to sell it to parents too.
Yeah, you got to sell it across the board. That's not sellable. That's why the SEC doesn't play these Thursday night games. There's a reason the SEC doesn't play Thursday night games.
Because this is what they also said too. If you're the athletic director at UCF, because Kansas State, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, they're saying like, well, we can go to a school like UCF, who's only making about $9 million per year from their TV deal, and right now the Big 12 is getting $30 million per year, and they're going to get that through 2025. And they have some wording in their contract with ESPN that if they have 12 teams in the conference, that they get X amount of dollars. But I'm pretty sure that their X amount means that they also have Texas and Oklahoma. So sure. I mean, just disregard all the minutia with that. They're just saying that, hey, we can go to a school like UCF Cincinnati, say, look, come join our conference, but instead of getting the full share like like we would, like Kansas State or Iowa State, how about you guys take a half share, which would still be double of what you're getting? You'll get $15 million instead of getting about 8, 9 million right now. I'm not sure if I'm an athletic director, of UCF or a president at UCF or Cincinnati, if I take that deal.
I mean, short term, sure, but I mean, don't you have to start thinking long term? I mean, if you're doing this, I mean,
but what's your long term hope?
If you're UCF, I don't know. Aren't you in better shape long term than Baylor and Texas Tech?
But meaning what? You still got to go play in a league.
Yeah.
Look.
I'm not sure the ACC wants UCF like some people think. So
no,
I'm not sure about that.
They don't. The ACC's privately in panic mode. I mean, they really are. They're privately panicking because they know that internally the ACC schools that have brand value are shopping. I mean, everybody has a dating profile out right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, the only teams that are safe are the 16 SEC schools, Ohio State, Michigan, a handful of the schools in the Pac-12. I mean, the list of schools that are truly safe, that have a spot at the dance, if you will, is in the 20s. Yeah. It's in the 20s, man. I mean,
I'm just so happy I'm a fan of one of those teams.
Of course,
thank God.
Yeah,
of course. Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if you're there's going to be the first big domino has fallen, Texas and Oklahoma. The second big domino is watching the Big Ten, because the Big Ten has a great TV deal. They have a lot of brands, and they would like to add to prevent. They would like to secure the area around it so that the Michigan and Ohio State type programs don't go. Now, hey, why exactly are we not doing something like this?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Everyone is going to start looking at the money that the SEC schools are bringing home and saying, well, no, we're not making that. And when ESPN and the SEC leaked that the deal was a pro-rata deal, That was intentional.
Of course.
That
the day it came out. Yeah.
That was a message. Yeah. That was a message.
To let you know, we can.
That was a message to the big boys that, hey, you want to get what Alabama gets a year from our TV deal? All you got to do is join.
That's it. They'll cut more pie.
I mean, you don't think that was appealing? And so you're sitting out there.
I'm pretty sure it was, man.
You're at USC. You're at Southern Cal. And you go, okay, well, I'm going to watch this. Because
they got some choices to make over the next 5 years.
Of course, because if Washington leaves, if Oregon leaves, now you can leave. Where are you going to go? You're not going to the Big 12. I mean, USC goes, well, it's a long flight, but it's a lot of money.
It's a whole lot of money.
And
they
so
cover them flights.
That's why I just think in the next 2 to 3 years, there's just a lot out there that could happen, and it can change with a phone call.
I agree, man. And Chase, Auburn not going no 6-6. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? God, dog.
What do you think they're going? 8-4?
Honestly, that seven number is so right.
Okay.
Because look, this is my thing.
Wait a minute. No, stop. So Chase says 6-6, and you yell at him, and then you're like, well, 7-5. I mean, come on, grind.
Because, man, an extra win does, it kind of does matter depending on who that team is. But Auburn could, I feel like, in my opinion, I'm a fan, of course, but 8-4 is more likely than 6-6. Because what I see from Penn State and what their media people and stuff, they're like, man, they're predicting Penn State to put up anywhere between a 7-5 to 9-3 season. And they're saying that the Wisconsin game, could be a loss, and they're saying that, the Auburn game could be a loss due to their quarterback play. It seems like Sean Clifford and Bo Nix are like the Spider-Man meme, like looking back at each other.
Well, I told Chase this the other day. I watched Penn State. I mean, everybody makes fun of me, and I get it. It's a really weird fetish to like Big Ten football the way that I do. But I watched Penn State a lot last year, and they were slow.
They were bad. They were terrible.
They were slow. And
they were terrible last year.
And I've seen what slow teams do against SEC teams. Indiana versus Ole Miss.
Yeah.
SEC teams beat slow Big Ten teams. Ohio State's not a traditional Big Ten team.
No.
They go recruit.
No, that's why they dominate their conference.
Yeah, they recruit kids who can run.
Yeah. Well, man, it was good. It was good calling in, man. I can't wait, to call in some more throughout this season, man. And you boys keep on having a good show.
Hey,
right,
real
Ron,
quick,
thanks.
7-5,
Yep.
or sorry, 8-4, losing to Alabama and Georgia are 6-6, but you beat Bama.
Hey, man, look, I'm an Auburn fan, man.
I'm just
not
asking a
gonna
question.
That Alabama game as a loss. Do you not know that three of the past 4 times Alabama brought their little happy behind and Jordan had stayed on, they done left as losers? And the only time they won was when we had Jeremy Johnson at quarterback.
I forgot about that.
Come on, man. I'm not giving you that. This Auburn defense is going to be nasty. It's going to be good this year. It's going to be good. Auburn is Brian Harsin and Auburn are having like a fan day, open experience next Saturday where they have an open practice for the fans. So I'm going to be up there and check everything out, see for myself. So, I feel a little bit better after that.
All right, Grind. Be good.
All right, man.
I can tell you've never lived a day in Alabama.
Not a day.
Yeah, Auburn and Alabama fans don't chalk that game up.
They don't just go, that was.
No, they no. It doesn't work like that. There is no surrender. They don't say, well, probably won't win that one. Nope. Doesn't work like that.
When they fill out their athlon, they don't just write L's all over the page.
No, at worst, they give that game a toss.
Yeah. Oh Lord!
No surrender. That's a different creature.
It's been fun tonight. Let's see what else we got going. Cole, we've said this. Ole Miss should thank the guy that got them into the league back in 1930, whatever. Hey, put that statue up somewhere because that set a lot in motion. And like I said, Ole Miss and State both should tar and feather the guy that got State into the league or built the school instead of not having one university.
Yeah.
Changed such a trajectory from an athletic standpoint. I mean, just
Yeah.
indescribable.
Because if there was just one school in Mississippi, it'd be a different
academically, athletically, though,
be a different deal
it'd be
completely.
a big school.
Sure.
I mean,
But Ole Miss should really put up
whoever that dude was.
whoever he was. Because that was a big move.
It was a big move.
Yeah.
He made a decision one day, and that was
a big decision. I mean, can you imagine being the guy at Sewanee or Tulane who was like, no, we don't want to do this?
well, like Swanee, whatever, because it is what it is. But Tulane,
Yeah. Because they'd be protected.
the league wouldn't kick them out.
No.
Be another academic school down. I mean,
Yeah.
you'd screw with LSU just enough. Get a kid occasionally and do some stuff.
No, it'd be a different deal. Sure, you could recruit New Orleans.
I mean,
What a rivalry that would be. LSU Tulane in an SEC deal.
I know.
Mark just joins us. Hey, Mark. Mark missed the Tennessee portion of the conversation. Although I think I sense that Mark is more south on Tennessee than any of us are.
Any of us, yes. I think that's a fair.
Hey, who do we have?
This is Drew in Madison, Delta
Drew.
Road 22.
Hey,
What's
Drew.
up, guys? Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
I've had another child since the last time we talked.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
that's exciting.
Yeah, congratulations. What did you have, boy or girl?
Another girl, two-time girl dad. So I'm up there with you, Neal.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that guy who called earlier. I think his name was Jason, maybe. That's kind of, do I try for a third or I just accept my fate and, kind of cover my losses there on the weddings?
You got to keep trying. Got to give it. Got to
I
give it
don't
one
know.
more shot.
I like the girls. I almost am like a little bit partial, but
We always assumed Carson would be a girl until. I mean, I've told this story before. We were at the ultrasound for Carson, and both of the girls were with us, and the technician looked at me and she said, "Do you know what it is?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "What is it?" I said, "I make girls." And she didn't say anything. A little while later, she said, "Are you sure?" And that's the first moment that I realized, oh my God. So yeah, you should absolutely keep trying. And I would have been perfectly at peace with having another girl.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. Yeah, it's all overrated at this point. I got a brother. He can continue on the family name if that's important to anybody. But I was laughing about the Sewanee thing. I keep forgetting that they're a thing. But apparently, and Chase, you may have to fact check me on this, but I have a friend that's really in the weeds on like SEC history, and apparently Sewanee has could rejoin the SEC if they wanted to. They have a permanent invitation back if they wanted to. Now, whether or not that's true or not, that has been
I feel like there'd be some logistical issues.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way that
on paper at least that there was you can leave, but if you ever want to come back, you can. And I just always thought that was kind of hilarious because there's no way the SEC would take Sewanee back now. But
yeah, I think
he argues to this day.
I think Sankey would say our connection's not good, and just click.
That's fair.
They play D3 football now.
Yeah, be a long road back to getting ready for Sewanee versus Georgia.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it'd be must-watch television for one, for a few reasons. Maybe just like that, some kids getting destroyed that should be on the intramural team at Ole Miss. It'd be rough. Real quick, I was just thinking about what was it? Y'all were talking about it earlier. Oh man, I forgot. I guess it doesn't matter. All right, y'all. It was good to talk to y'all. Been a long time. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank y'all for putting it on tonight.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Drew.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, we had a super chat a moment ago. Let me find it. There it is. From Holly. First-time listener, viewer. Husband got me hooked. Love the show. Thank you, Holly. Good to have you with us.
Jump on in with the rest of our...
Up to 4.1% right there.
Been a little higher than that tonight.
Yeah. I think it's closer to 10% than.
Yeah, I think we're on up there a little bit. So that's great. Let's see. Yeah, as they said, soccer did get rained out. We have the press release now.
Yeah.
The ETSU thing. So
the lightning strike was probably a giveaway.
yeah, I think we saw that.
Probably weren't going to get that game in.
Yeah, we felt that. So anyway, I'll be with you for a couple of hours here today. This is tomorrow's podcast. We will, if you would like to go back and listen, I'll edit out all the riffraff from our little technical difficulty there prior to putting that up. And Neal said 7 minutes and something, right?
Yeah, we got started back at like 7:20.
Okay, so 7 minutes or something for that one.
7:37 because I remember thinking it was like a plane.
You guys exceeded our expectations tonight from a stream and a call standpoint. So appreciate all of you. The Valentine's Day questions, the weddings, the football talk too. Got Grind's mic fixed. You did a pretty good job there. You got that all solved. So
Thanks.
I don't know if Grind just like moved away from something and it fixed it, but
I fixed a couple of settings.
It's kind of like Billy Chappell in For Love of the Game. Neal like spilled some mustard on his shirt, hit a button, and suddenly it sounded better, even though we have no idea what he did. So
I know what I did.
Okay, fair enough.
Believe it or not,
we'll let you claim that.
Believe it or not, actually.
So tomorrow's podcast, we'll be back with you from a podcast standpoint on Monday. Hope all of you have a wonderful, safe weekend. Stay out of the rain. Take care, and we will talk to you again very soon.